In this video, we will discuss identifying linear equations. The standard form of an equation is ax plus by equals c, where ax and by are variable terms and c is the constant term. Linear equations can be written in standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, and those are capital AX plus capital BY plus capital equals capital C. And it says where A, B, and C are integers. So A, B, and C will be integers. A is greater than or equal to 0, which means it is not negative. And the greatest common factor of A, B, and C is 1. So what does this mean? What are the characteristics of an equation in standard form? Graphically, the definition would say it's an equation that forms a straight line. Algebraically, it's an equation ooh, my spelling is bad. It's an equation that can be written in standard form. The variables that will be used are just plain x's and y's that are that are being multiplied by integers and being added or subtracted together. What that means then is no x squared, no y squared, no x times y, no fractions with a variable in the denominator, etc. Examples of a linear equation. Remember, the form is ax plus Lord, my handwriting tonight, plus by equals c, where in this equation a equals 2, b equals 5, and c equals 3. In the second example, we have a fraction, but the variables are in the numerator and not in the denominator. So this is a linear equation. We need to multiply everything by the common denominator. And if you don't know what that is, multiply them together, and that becomes your common denominator. So 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times x is 3x. 3 goes into 6 twice. 2 times y, and that's subtraction, I'm sorry. 2 times y is 2y. And you also have to multiply the 5 by 6. Because what you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. And that equals 30. Now you can determine what A, B, and C are. So A would be 3. We're going here. B would be -2 because the subtraction sign makes what follows it negative. And C would be 30. Here we have our non-examples of a linear equation. This is not a linear equation because the squared term. This is not the linear equation because you have variables in the denominator. And this is not a linear equation because you have x times y. Now, I'm going to try one of these and then I'm going to leave the rest for you to do for homework. So it says determine if the following equations are linear. If they are linear, rewrite them in standard form. And you want to identify A, B, and C. And if it's not linear, you need to justify your answer. So we're going to use our examples from above. The format for a linear equation is AX plus BY equals C. Now, in order for this to be identified as a linear equation, you need to have your variable terms on the left side of the equal sign and your constant term on the right side. So we have a variable term here, we have a constant on the right, and then another variable term on the right. So we must move this variable term across the equal sign. And when you move it across the equal sign, it becomes the opposite. So the subtraction sign means that this is -2. So when we move it across the equal sign, it now becomes +2. So we have 2x plus y equals 8. A is 2. Remember, when you have a variable and there's no number in the front, there's an invisible 1. So B is equal to 1 and C is equal to 8. And yes, this is linear. Let's do number 2. Not linear because you have x and y multiplied together. It's really that simple. So we'll leave the rest of these for you, and I'll see you next time.